Hello everyone, welcome back for the fourth session of power system analysis. So in this session, once again we are going to discuss some more problems on symmetrical fault analysis. So this is the problem statement for the given network. So the problem statement states as a three-phase 5 MVA 6.6 kilovolt alternator with a reactance of 8% is connected to a feeder of series impedance of this much value. The transformer is rated at 3 MVA 6.6 kilovolt 33 kilovolt and has a series reactance of 5%. So by using these various parameters, so the power system consists of mainly three components. One is alternator having the ratings of 5 MVA 6.6 kilovolt and its reactance value is 8%, and followed by a transformer having 3 MVA 6.6 bar 33 kilovolt and its reactance value is 5%. Then this transformer is connected to the feeder of length 15 kilometer and it is having a reactance value of this much. Okay, so in this problem statement we need to determine the fault current supplied by the generator operating under no load condition. Okay, so which is operating under no load condition with a voltage of 6.9 kilovolt. So whenever the fault occurs, so the fault is occurring at this instant, right, or this point, so we need to find out the fault current supplied by this generator having the voltage value of 6.9 kilovolt. Okay, and further he given that a three-phase symmetrical fault, that's what a symmetrical fault will be occurring from the feeder at a distance of 15 kilometer. So this is what he given in the problem statement. Okay, so as we already solved the various problems on this module, right, so we always start with the base values. So let us consider some base values. Okay, so for this particular problem, let us choose the generator rating as what? The base values. So this is the generator and its rating is already given, so we are going to choose these ratings as a base value. So according to that, our base MVA will be equal to what? 5 MVA. So this is the 5 MVA given for the what? Alternator. Then base kilovolt on the generator will be equal to what? So this is the voltage given for the alternator, so we are going to consider its base voltage as 6.6 kilovolt. Now let us find the base kilovoltage of the transmission line. So this is the transmission line. For this transmission line we need to find out its base kilovolt voltage value. Okay, so between what? Between the generator to the transformer. Okay, so according to that, between the transformer and the feeder we need to find out the base voltage of the transmission line. So according to that, so now this transmission line is connected to HT side of the transformer or LT side of the transformer. So by looking into these voltage values, we can clearly tell that this transmission line is connected to the HT side of the transformer. Is it so? So according to that, the formula, now in previous problems we utilized this formula because the transmission line used to connect it to the LT side of the transformer, but in this problem the transmission line is connected to the HT side of the transformer. According to that, the formula now it will be HT side will be equal to what? LT side into ST rating divided by LT rating. So we are going to utilize this formula to find out the base kilovolt of the transmission line. So the transmission line is connected to the ST side of the transformer, so according to that it will be equal to what? LT side of the transformer. So the LT side of the transformer is having a rating of 6.6, so 6.6 into ST rating of the transformer, the high voltage rating of the transformer is 33 kilovolt. So 33 kilovolt divided by the low voltage rating of the transformer, it is already given, it is how much? 6.6 kilovolt. So if you further simplify it, so we are going to get the base kilovolt on the transmission line as 33 kilovolt. So in case of previous problems, so after having the base values set, so we need to find the reactance of each component. So here in the our problem statement, we are having only three main components. One is alternator, one is a transformer, then followed by the feeder. So according to that, we need to find out the reactance of these components. So let us start with the first component, that is generator. So the reactance of the generator, so as we already chosen the base value of the generator, so according to that, the reactance, whatever the given reactance, will remain same. So the old reactance in terms of per unit will be equal to the new reactance of the generator. So according to that, the new reactance of the generator will be equal to, if you convert 8%, it will be around J 0.08 per unit. Then after calculating the reactance of the generator, so next component is the transformer. So if you want to find out the new value of the reactance, so this is the formula we are going to use. Okay, so according to that formula, so new reactance of the transformer will be equal to the old reactance of the transformer into MVA base new divided by MVA base old value into kilovolt base whole square old value divided by kilovolt square base new value. So according to this formula, the old reactance value of the transformer, which is given in our problem statement, it is how much? 5%. So to convert it, it will be around J 0.05. And the new MVA base which chosen on the generator rating, its new MVA is 5 divided by old MVA of the transformer, it is given in the problem statement as 3 MVA. So 5 divided by 3 into old kilovolt rating of the transformer. So we need to consider the highest voltage, is it so? So old kilovolt will be how much? 33. So 33 divided by, so we found out the kilovolt base of this transmission line, right? So that kilovolt base of the transmission line will remain same for our transformer. So according to that, the new kVA will be how much? 33. So 33 divided by 33 whole square, if you further simplify it, we are going to get the new reactance of the transformer as J 0.833 per unit. So next component is the impedance of the feeder. So we need to find out the impedance of this feeder, and this feeder length is how much? 15 kilometer, right? And the reactance of this feeder is given in our problem statement. So this is the reactance given in our problem statement. So we want in terms of ohm. So according to that, what will happen now? So we are going to multiply 15 with that, the reactance value, into MVA base. So MVA base new value was 5 MVA divided by the kilovolt base value of the transmission line, we obtained it, right? So it was around 33 kilovolt. So 33 kilovolt, 33 whole square. So if you simplify it, the new impedance value of the transmission line in terms of per unit will be this much. Is it clear? So after obtaining all the impedance and reactance value of each component, so next step is what? We need to represent with the form of pre-fault impedance diagram. So this is the pre-fault impedance diagram for the given power system network. So the power system network, first component is what? The alternator. So its equivalent representation will be reactance followed by with some voltage source. So its reactance value we obtained was this much. So then next component is transformer. So the equivalent representation of the transformer is a simple reactance, as it is connected in series with what, our generator. So it was the impedance or reactance value of the transformer we obtained was this much. Then this transformer is now connected to what, feeder. So now we are going to add a feeder in series with our transformers equivalent representation. So this was we obtained it. So the impedance value of the feeder we obtained it was this much. So we are going to write it over here, and the fault is happening at this point F. So the voltage between these 2 points is nothing but as we already know, right, in our previous problem. So the voltage between these 2 points is nothing but pre-fault voltage. The before the voltage before having a fault, the voltage between these 2 points are nothing but pre-fault voltage. Okay, so next what we need to find, the generator voltage, that is induced EMF in our generator, then the pre-fault voltage between these 2 points, point F and our reference point. So as we know, the generator voltage is already given in our problem statement, right? So the generator was operating at 6.9 kilovolt, which was said in our problem statement, right? So that will be the our actual value of induced EMF. So the actual value of the induced EMF is 6.9 kilovolt, but we want in terms of per unit, right? So the per unit of this induced generator value will be equal to what, as we know, the per unit is equal to what, actual value divided by the base value. So the per unit in term, the actual value is already known, so that is 6.9 kilovolt divided by the base value. So the base value of the generator we found out, right? So it was 6.9. So 6.9 by 6.9, you are going to there is a slight correction to be made over here. The base voltage was 6.6. So 6.9 divided by 6.6, make a correction over here, 6.9 divided by 6.6. So after simplifying it, you are going to get the induced EMF in our generator as 1.045 per unit. So after finding out this induced EMF in the generator, next we need to find out the pre-fault voltage between point F and a reference value. Okay, so the pre-fault voltage at the fault F. So here we need to add up all the voltage values. Is it clear? So the voltage value of this induced EMF plus the voltage value of this transformer. Let us consider a transformer voltage value. So the transformer voltage value is how much? 33, plus the induced voltage value of this generator we already found out, right? So add up that, you are going to get the pre-fault voltage as 34.5 kilovolt, as they are connected in what fashion? Series. For that reason, we are going to add this voltage and the voltage of this entire transmission line or this transformer. So if you add up the voltage, you are going to get the pre-fault voltage at this particular instant. Is it clear? So but whatever the pre-fault voltage we obtained, it is in terms of actual value. We want in terms of per unit value. So the per unit value of pre-fault voltage is given by, as we know, the pre-fault per unit formula is equal to what? Per unit is equal to base value divided by, actual value divided by base value. The pre-fault voltage actual value we already obtained it over here, right? So the pre-fault actual value is how much? 34.5 divided by the base value. So the base value of this transformer is nothing but that is 33 kilovolt. So 34.5 divided by 33, you are going to get the pre-fault voltage in terms of per unit. So that is 1.0455 per unit. Okay, after finding out the generator impedance value and the pre-fault value, So next what we need to find, so we need to find the fault current. So before that, according to our Thevenin's theorem, so next step what we need to do, yeah, wherever the voltage sources are there, we need to short those voltage sources. Is it so? Or we are going to represent so here they are connected in what fashion, series, right? So add up, so you are going to get the total impedance value. So the according to that, the VTH, Thevenin's voltage, will be equal to this generated voltage, right? So that will be equal to what, 1.0455 at an angle 0 degree, so which we obtained it previously, right. So then ZTH, so that is nothing but Thevenin's equivalent impedance value of this circuit. So to obtain this, so we need to add up all these impedance values. So the impedance value of the generator, the impedance value of the transformer, then the impedance value of the feeder. So as they are connected in a series, so we are going to add up these impedance values to get the total equivalent impedance of the Thevenin's circuit. So after adding up all these impedance, we are going to get the Thevenin's impedance as this much. Okay, so according to our Thevenin's theorem, to find out the fault current, next what we need to do, we need to short these two points, that is from point F to our reference point. So after shorting these 2 points, you know, short circuit is happening in our circuit. So due to that, a fault current IF will start to flow through our circuit, because with the help of this voltage source. Okay, now it is in closed circuit. Okay, so according to that, the fault current will be equal to what, yeah, the fault current will be equal to VTH, that is the Thevenin's voltage divided by Thevenin's impedance value. So these are the Thevenin's voltage and Thevenin's impedance value we obtained previously. So after substituting these two values, we are going to get the fault current. It is in terms of per unit, but we want in terms of actual value, right? So according to that, the actual value of the fault current will be equal to per unit value into base value. Is it clear? So per unit V is equal to what, actual value by base. So from that, actually V is equal to what, per unit into the base value of the current. Now we don't know the base current value, right? So to find out the base current value, the formula will be this one, so which we already used in our various problems. Okay, so the IB will be equal to now this much, 87.47. After substituting the power and the voltage value, we are going to get the base current as this much. So after finding out the base value of the current, you are going to multiply this base value of the current with this per unit value of the fault current to get actual value of the fault current. So now the actual value of the fault current will be equal to 185.45 at an angle minus 89 degrees ampere. So this is the final solution we are going to get for this problem. Hope the problem is clear. If you are having any doubt, please feel free to ask. Thank you.